Hey everyone, I'm Andrew. I'm back for chapter 5 of my book, Beyond Recovery. I'm enjoying this platform, enjoying getting to share this information. Luckily, I'm feeling it today. Yesterday I wasn't, but I acted out of discipline and obedience to what I believe is my assignment and did chapter 4. Chapter 5, sure to have some good stuff for us today. I'm going to go ahead and start reading. Chapter 5. If you are lucky enough to complete a program and you are ready to begin practicing a new way of life and being, there are some highlights I'd like to share with you. Sorry, there's a typo. There are some highlights I'd like to share with you. I believe your new practice should have a spiritual foundation. I would often tell myself, do it right longer than you did it wrong. Or, now, right here and now is where and when normal average people give up. So I would use those to encourage myself when I would ask God, how long do I have to suffer in this recovery or not? And I just remembered how long I practiced alcoholism. It's like, well, let me do it right longer than I did it wrong. And then that pep talk in the mirror when things are challenging or difficult, I'd look myself in the eyes and say, right here, right now, this is where normal people give up. So I'm gonna push further and through. I'm gonna go beyond where normal average people would just give up. Okay, these are a few of the things I would tell myself when things got tough and I wanted to give up or relapse into a coping skill, into old coping skills and behaviors. My past did rear its ugly head from time to time. When I would come in contact with someone that hadn't seen me for a while, I would eagerly view the opportunity to redefine who I was. I would apologize and ask forgiveness when needed. Then I would look for a way to display humility or patience, understanding, or kindness. I would oftentimes follow up with these qualities at a later date as well to reiterate the new behavior and qualities. This allowed me and the old acquaintance and any other parties involved to go home and say, I guess he really has changed. He really is different. There are people out there right now living happy, successful, and meaningful lives without being affected by addiction. You and I are capable of the exact same thing. There is a myth that there are no people out there that are truly happy. That is a myth, and I believed it for many years. Negative and positive thoughts have one main difference in this context. Negative thoughts have the ability to manifest negative emotions, circumstances, and experiences immediately. Positive thoughts almost always have a gestation or incubation period. It was crucially important to think positive thoughts obsessively for a long enough period of time until I began to see the results blossoming and blooming of the ruling mental state, of my new ruling mental state. When the results or blessings began to pour in to my life, it was time for me to double down on my positive thought patterns and to set up a continuous stream of blessings. If you're like me and went very deep into your addiction, it could seem like a lie that there are happy, healthy, productive people enjoying their lives addiction-free. My surface mind would quickly reason it away, saying, they're just really good at hiding it. Or they are just bad. They're just one bad event away from relapse. What kind of talk is that and thoughts? Now I've been convinced that we are God's highest form of creation on the planet. We were created to enjoy this life, not endure it. This lifetime by dulling the pain, not endure this lifetime by dulling the pain and existence with substance abuse. I believe God created us to use and tap into ineffable qualities, compassion, generosity, kindness, prosperity, etc. Enter your own. Here are what I believe to be some healthy steps to take in the beginning stages of recovery. This is good. All right. 1, be diligent and disciplined about whatever program you're involved in or could be a part of. It doesn't matter if you believe in every last drop of it. Be disciplined and obedient to it. Be diligent about your work. Take a few quiet minutes each day to close your eyes and picture your happy and sober existence many years down the road. Picture it many years from now. Write a paragraph about it, or paint a picture of it, or write a song about it if you need some help imagining and getting your imagination wrapped around it. 3, be persistent in your study. If you want to be a restaurant owner, find a successful one that lets you take notes or answers questions. Read about your interest and goals. Study others that have done what you're attempting to do. If you happen to stumble upon a why idea that has never been done before, find someone that is into doing new things with a successful attitude and a spirit of excellence. The idea is to always grow and learn and get in tune with universal progress that is always happening whether we want to be a part or not. 4, decide, believe, and affirm out loud to yourself and others that you are not normal and average, and you indeed will be happy and successful, will be a happy and successful part of a tiny percentage of recoveries. When they told us in treatment that 80% of people would end up dead, in jail, or back in treatment, my mind immediately said, not me. No way I'm going to any of those places. My mind was already made up that my recovery would be a full success. So convinced in that fact, I began to have pity for other people that I just knew were going to be a part of that sad statistic. You, like me, will make it if you decide that you are going to make it. Your life will be better than it has ever been. Believe it in your mind, heart, and soul in that order, and it will be so. I like that. Number 5, this one perhaps may be my favorite because it was so foreign to me. Volunteer. To try to do any volunteer work. Volunteer to help with things you believe in and understand and things you want to learn about. Building a house for Habitat for Humanity. How to cook for large groups is something I'm interested in. We'll go volunteer at the soup kitchen. How to run a daycare. Go volunteer at the Vacation Bible School. You will learn from the other people you meet as you meet others that are in tune with progress and first fundamental law of life, the law of giving. I realized giving my time was probably more important and impactful than giving money. I also learned about humility. It takes a real winner to gracefully give a gift. I gained an interesting perspective on attitudes and motives that prompted others to give and receive. Perhaps the most important thing it gave me was a sense of trust and confidence that in my future, should I need to receive an uncommon gift, there would be someone there joyfully and cheerfully offering me a lending hand, which equals the common denominator of being able to feel good and feel good about myself and my actions. You go and volunteer and you give from yourself and with a good attitude, not wanting praise for it. It's hard not to feel good about yourself. It's hard to not have some self-worth. Break the soil on that one. This is why I stress that you must give in a scientific, spiritual, joyful, cheerful manner of your time, energy, money, love, support, compassion. Should you volunteer with a bad attitude, you will not harvest all the joy and the feel-good that there is to get there. And in the future, you may be helped by someone who has a bad attitude about helping you. Inside that lies the key to generously giving and graciously receiving. Adding volunteer work to your spiritual practice is sure to bring you more and more harmonious tuning with all the goodness that ever was and ever will be. 6. Consider your old methods and habits as wrong or in need of repair. If you have never received a positive result in one area of your life, finances, love, work, parenting, etc., consider that it's possible that everything you've been taught about that subject is indeed subject to error. It's more likely a snag in your mentality than a curse. Trying to alter from the previous behavior or trying things in a brand new way can be astoundingly effective, to the point it almost seems like magic. Change some of the variables, change your attitude about them, change something and try it in a different manner. I started many things over and over many times trying to iron out some of this. When I found myself experiencing prosperity and abundance, my ego, my conscious mind, and my surface mind would send distress signals. It's a big job. Are you sure you can do this? Or, that's not how people become wealthy. I'm not gonna do that. I would take a few minutes in front of the mirror and say, I'm going to try this. I can do this. I'm capable of doing anything. I'm blessed and prosperous. I used my scientific evidence to help convince my mind as well. I've done bigger jobs in the past. I'm learning about prosperity. I'm certain I'm capable of completing this job. I will try that. After all, I wasn't happy and I wasn't prosperous, so there had to be a glitch in the code somewhere. Those other statements are fear-based, and I'm not afraid. I'm courageous and bold and made in a magnificent way. Trying new things gave me a new perspective and new results in every area. I was able to adjust and try again if I didn't get the result I wanted. I have come to realize that happiness and prosperity are spiritual qualities. Individuals that had them in their lives invested in them and had thought patterns similar to a mathematic equation or formula. Also, they were in tune with, in touch with, and surrounded by happy and prosperous people the majority of their time. Which brings me to number 7. I'm sorry, reading this is a little bit difficult because I'm not a writer. I'm not a book writer. And so there's some confusing, but stick with me. I actually wrote down, which brings me to number 7. Number 7, make some new friends. Find a mentor and then someone else you feel you can help. Find a mentor and find someone to mentee or whatever you call it. Be quick to befriend stable, happy, successful people. I think it was Vince Lombardi, and I'm not a huge football fan, but Vince Lombardi that said something like, if you want to be a champion, surround yourself with champions. Find friends that support and encourage you. You'll find yourself supporting and encouraging them. Give them your time, energy, and love. Invest a little time, energy, and love. Invest as little time, energy, and love as possible to people that hope or expect you to fail. Invest little in those people. Believe little of what they say. Give all your attention and energy to becoming what it is that you want to be or that you believe you are. I certainly experienced a better result from the wise investment. A lifetime of attempting to be the greatest will surely lead you to a worthwhile existence. To say, I'm not hurting anyone with my behavior or life choices is so foolish. Another way to say the same thing is, I'm not helping anyone with my behavior and life choices. Saying it with the word help and the word choice is very significant. We can decide to change one day, but unless we choose to honor that decision, it will not make a difference. So a decision is good, but a commitment to the decision is what really has to take place. And then a practice of the new belief, commitment. Decisions and choice work hand in hand, but are not the same thing. Go mingle with greatness, it will help you discover your greatness. Go interact with success, it will help you realize and actualize your success. Go study prosperity, and you will become prosperous. There is a wealth of knowledge and joy from friendship. Go make some great, successful, prosperous friends. Be honest. Number 8. Be honest. I had trouble with how much I respected women. Oh man, I wrote that in. I did. I had squandered my inheritance and thought of myself as poor. I was drinking to avoid my own feelings of anxiety and depression. I didn't believe I had a gift or anything to give or share with anyone. I had a skewed view of what a relationship was. I had little to no parenting skills. I had been doing many things based on a fear-based habit. I'm sorry, I read it. This is the tragic and magic one. I had trained my mind, body, and soul to habitually be miserable. So being honest and saying it was me, I got there by me, training myself. That being the fact, I could train my body, mind, and soul to be habitually kind, or generous, or confident, or happy, or prosperous. So I think I left that one kind of short, but that's chapter number 5 of Beyond Recovery. And I'll be back with chapter number 6, Freeing Your Mind. Now, if you've stayed with me this far, I'd like to share a little piece of information that through sponsoring or mentoring another friend, I became aware of. He was having some difficulty one day, and he said, I just don't know if I can be a success at this new life, this new way of being that I want. I don't know if I can be successful at it. And I've never been successful at anything in my life. And I think I won't mention his DOC, but I said, were you a successful addict? He said, no, it almost ruined my life. I said, yeah, but did you get the drug? Did you get what you wanted? Did you get a lot of it? Did you do it until your life was out of control? You were successful. So in other words, you set your being on acquiring this substance and immensely successful at doing that. So I said, now you've just changed that substance for something wholesome that you believe in, that should you dedicate yourself to it like you did your drug of choice, then you'll get it. You'll be successful at it. And in like a weird way, you'll be addicted to success. I mean, but that path will benefit your family, mankind, your bank account, everything. Everyone that's in contact with you will benefit from you trying to live a spiritually and every other physically and everything else successful. So if you're ever thinking I can't do this, just go ahead and say, look, I like me, I could say, did I get the alcohol? Did I cope with things using alcohol? Yes. Well, that's what I believed, and that's what I thought would help. So I set out to get it, and I got it. So now I've just changed that from, I don't think it's alcohol. I believe giving and serving and learning and growing will help and will solve some of my problems. And so I'm addicted to generosity and kindness and learning and growing. It serves me much better. In the end of this book, I'll get to the point where I talk about that. People with addictive behavior, it's a superpower. The ability to focus on something so intently that nothing else seems to matter is a superpower. If you put something wholesome and constructive and good and something you believe in the blank. All right, I'm starting to loosen up and have fun with this. Getting some ideas about future videos, maybe some music. I've got some songs that I've never published. So I thank you for listening. If you've tuned in, and like and subscribe or something. I don't know how all that works. If you want to know another video comes out, I think you have to subscribe. And I'll be back with chapter 6 tomorrow. Thanks.